All right, good evening, everybody. We have a fantastic and exciting daf for you this evening. Really a lot of interesting things. We're going to be covering three topics. The first one is walking outside on Shabbat with one sandal on. Second topic is wearing tefillin outside on Shabbat. And the third one is regarding amulets. You'll all be amulet experts by the end. So, regarding the first one, the Mishnah taught, "Velo biyachid bizman she'en beraglo makah."
So what are you on, Rabbi?
We're on 61. This is bottom of page 60. 60b, last line. Now top of 61a.
Okay.
But you can see it on the screen, right?
No, I see it on Safari. It's much easier for me to read. I can't.
That's fine. That's good. Whatever's good for you. Okay. The Mishnah taught that a person is not allowed to walk outside with one shoe on. The idea is that if he's wearing one shoe for whatever reason, then people will see him and make fun of him, and he'll feel embarrassed, and then he'll take off the other shoe and he will carry it. Or people will see him wearing one shoe, they'll assume that the other shoe must have broken and he's carrying it inside his clothing, and so they'll accuse him. They'll think badly of him. Which that's the explanation in the Talmud Yerushalmi, which I think shows how important social pressure was and is for people keeping Shabbat. So you can't walk around you can't wear one shoe. This is only a sur midirabanan. In other words, you wouldn't have to bring a korban if you did wear one shoe, because it's only a gezerah. People might think, or you might come to do something. All right. However, it says that's if you don't have a wound on your foot. If you do have a wound on one foot, then you can wear a sandal. Everybody good? Okay. Yesh beraglo makah nafek. If he has a wound, he can go out. Behemi nahu nafek. Now here's a question. What are you assuming in your mind? Which foot is he going to have the sandal on? The one that has a wound, or the one that is a healthy foot?
I was assuming the healthy foot.
Assuming the healthy foot, right? You're thinking of someone like with a cast or something, and he can't fit the shoe on because it's all bandaged, and the healthy foot has the shoe, right?
Or speaking like a woman, if they're a blister on the foot, it's the one with the wound that you won't be wearing. Yeah, it won't.
That's the one you're going to take off. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we have both opinions here. Amar Rav Huna be'ota sheyesh ba makah. It's the one that has a wound. In other words, a lot of people would normally not wear shoes. You have to be somewhat means to be able to afford shoes. Many poor people went barefoot. And so it was only like a special occasion. Oh, I have a wound. I can't go barefoot. Yeah, I went and found a shoe to make sure. So therefore, according to this, the reason people wear shoes is because they're necessary to prevent pain. There's another opinion, though. Now you put it on the other one, that the healthy foot gets the shoe. This shows that when people wear shoes because it's a luxury. It keeps them comfortable. So I love this, that you have this like philosophical debate about why we wear shoes. Is it a necessity to prevent pain, or is it a luxury for comfort? And that would make a difference which one gets the shoe, the bad leg or the good leg. In any case, because the person has a wound, everybody will see that, he has a wound, and that's why he's wearing one shoe. So they won't accuse him of carrying, and they won't make fun of him. And so therefore, if he has a wound, it's okay. Good. Rabbi Yochanan must agree with the first opinion, the one up here that said that you put it on the wounded leg. Well, he didn't say this explicitly, but we can tell this from a story. This was his student who was also his helping him out. The students then those days would also serve their master and bring them their slippers. He says, "Havli misanai." He says, "Give me my shoes." Yahavle diyamin. But the student only gave him one shoe, that of the right foot. And Rabbi Yochanan said, Asito Makah, now you made my foot as if it's wounded. That's the story. Okay, what can we tell from this story? That since he gave him only one shoe, and it's the right one, and so now he's going to put on one shoe, which is the right one, and he said, you made it like I have a wounded foot, meaning the right foot, the one that you gave, the shoe that you gave me, is now going to look like it's wounded because I only have one shoe on. So you see, the story assumes that you put the shoe on the sick foot. Hold on, is that really a necessary conclusion? Maybe what he said in response is, now that you gave me one shoe, the right one, now it's going to look like my left foot is wounded. It's not really clear which foot is going to be wounded based on this story. So actually, we really can't tell which one Rabbi Yochanan agreed with, if you put the foot on the good leg or the bad leg. But Rabbi Yochanan, as Rabbi Yochanan Ta'ameh, the statement of Rabbi Yochanan does fit with something else he said about the order of putting on your shoes. Da'amar Rabbi Yochanan, kitfilin, kach min alin, ma tefillin bismol, af min alin bismol. Just like we put on tefillin on our left arm, and so our left arm has special status, so too we should put our shoes on our left shoe first, and then the right shoe. Okay, it's not really clear what's the connection between tefillin and shoes. I mean, it does look similar, especially those days when you had leather straps tying the shoe to the ankle. If you look up what a Roman shoe looks like. So there is some similarity. I guess the idea is that he wants to give honor to tefillin, and so he wants to even remember tefillin when he's putting on his shoe and saying, this is similar to tefillin. I want to show how much I love tefillin. I'm going to put the left shoe on first. Now we can tell he thinks this because when his student gave him the one shoe, the right shoe, he could have just put on the right shoe and then said, give me the left shoe and put on the left. And then he would have both shoes on, the right and then the left. So why did he say, oh, you made it like I have a wound, like I can only put on one shoe? Well, he said that because, according to him, he has to put on the left shoe first and then the right. So if he puts on the right shoe, then he can't go back and put the left shoe on because the left has to go first. So we can derive from the story that he thinks that left should go first and then right. And the story fits within his explicit statement. Okay, good. Metiveh, כשהוא נועל של ימין, ואחר כך נועל של שמאל. We have an objection from a Baraita. Baraita is a Tannaitic source. Rabbi Yochanan is the most important Amorah in Eretz Yisrael, first, second generation Amorah, but still, he's not as great an authority as the Tanaim. And now we have a Baraita that says the opposite. When someone puts on shoes, he should put the right shoe on and then the left, because the right is always stronger and more important. You want to give that honor and then the left. And so now we have a problem. Amar Rav Yosef, Hashtad de Tanya Hachi, V'amar Rabbi Yochanan Hachi, De'abad Hachi Avad, Udavad Hachi Avad. Rav Yosef says, we can't decide who's right. There's both good authorities, so whatever you choose is fine. Someone who acts this way and puts the right on first, avad. He acted properly. Someone did the left one, he also acted properly. Okay, this is one of my favorite lines in all of the Talmud. It occurs about 5 times in Shas and a couple of times in Talmud Yerushalmi. And I wrote one of my dissertation chapters on this, and Professor Christine Hayes also wrote an article on this at the same time while I was writing that. So then I wrote a long article arguing against her thesis, and then she wrote an even longer article back against mine, and it was all surrounding these words. The question we were dealing with is, when it says this line, you can do whatever you want, I argued that this means that there are multiple truths, right? And both the Rabbi Yochanan and the Baraita, they both have truth value, and therefore, great, do either one. Usually we have a psak halacha, which is multiple truths, but we decided one. Here there's not, so okay, both lanes are open. Whereas her opinion was, really there's only one right thing to do, but we're stuck. The halachic process broke down because there's no decision. So you know what? We throw up our hands and pick one. We hope you're right, but only one is correct. So anyway, that was our machloket. You can go read it for yourself to decide who is right. I think in some ways we're both right. Amar le Abaye, Dilma, so Abaye tells Rav Yosef, Dilma Rabbi Yochanan, hamatnitin lahavat shemi'ah leh. Says, well, maybe Rabbi Yochanan did not know that beraita. We can't assume that every Amorah knew every beraita. There's many, many beraitot, many collections. So perhaps he simply didn't know it. But if he did know it, he would have changed his mind. So he's challenging him. Why are you saying that you can pick either way? We have a beraita that's a higher source that says the right first. And we have a Yochanan who's a lower source who says put the left on first. We should go with the beraita that says the right first because that's a higher level. Or he's thinking out loud, or maybe Rabbi Yochanan did know that baraita, and he took it into account, and he disagreed with it. And in that case, halacha kibatra'eh, we should follow the halacha like Rabbi Yochanan. So this is presented kind of as a question against Rav Yosef, but it's really not clear what his question is. I think you'll agree. I mean, that's Rav Yosef's point. We don't know. We don't know which has the greater authority. Did he know it? Did he not? Abaye just fleshing out the situation. It looks like he's asking a question. However, over here we can get help from manuscripts. I'll show you. This is a chart of some of the manuscripts of this piece. So we have the Vilna Venezia, that's the printed editions. Then we have 3 manuscripts. And if you look down over here, says Amar le Abaye, Amar le Abaye. That's what it says in the printed editions. But in the Munich manuscript, those words are not found. In Vatican, they're added in between the lines, but they weren't there originally. And in this manuscript, it says Amar le, but it doesn't say Abaye. So if you take out those words, then it actually reads quite differently. It's a continuation of Rav Yosef's words, or rather an explanation of his words. So Rav Yosef said, we do either way, because we don't know. And after all, maybe he knew it and he disagreed with it. Maybe he knew it and he rejected it. Or maybe he didn't know it. And that's why. So if you take out the words Amar le'Abaye, it actually reads more smoothly. So this is one example of the importance of looking at manuscripts. Okay, good. In any case, Rav Yosef said pick either way. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak says Yireh Shamayim Yoseh Yedeh Shetehen Manu Mor Bereh Derabana. If someone fears heaven, should try to do both opinions, not pick only one. Because maybe one's right, maybe the others. Hechi abid, sayem dimine vela qatar, besayem dismale vekatar, vadar qatar dimine, amar Rav Asher, chazin Rav Kana de la kaped. How do you do both? Well, you put on the right shoe first and then the left one. That's what the Baraita says. But then you tie the left one, and afterwards, tie the right one, and then you fulfilled what Rabbi Yochanan says. And that way you make a compromise, and you can make both sides happy. Okay, so that's great. Rav Asher says, I saw Rav Kana, who's a great sage, and he wasn't careful. Sometimes put the right one on, some put the left one on, and it didn't matter. So you know what? You don't really have to do that. Okay, good.
No, that matter.
What?
You have 3 options.
3 options is you could pick one or the other. You could do both, or it doesn't matter. Right, there's 3 options here. Very good. Okay, there was once a conference that the title of the conference was Jews and Shoes, right? We have a lot to say about shoes. Okay, now I want to take a minute. I know this might take a couple minutes longer than usual, but it is quite fascinating. I'm sure you'll agree it's worth the time. And compare this to the Talmud Yerushalmi, which has a similar discussion on the same Mishnah. And here the Rabbi Yochanan says, Alota sheyesh b'makah hu noten. You put it on the one that has a wound. He says it explicitly. In the Talmud Bavli, he didn't say anything explicitly. We derive from the story that since he said, oh, now you gave my foot a wound, he must think that that's the one with the wound that he put it on. But then we weren't sure, because you can interpret the story both ways. The Talmud Yerushalmi knows exactly, right? It's an explicit statement. So I guess that clear statement did not make its way. Rabbi Yochanan is from Eretz Yisrael. That statement did not make its way over to Bavel. However, the story is more or less the same. Shimon bar Avad, that's a student, he was in front of him, and he gave him one shoe. It doesn't say which one. but we can tell it's the right one. It says he gave it to him according to the baraita that says you should always do the right one first. In other words, the student knew the baraita, and so when the teacher asked for a shoe, he gave him the right one. But then Amar le Rabbi Yochanan responded to him, Bavlaya, you Babylonian, because he was from Shimon was from Bavel. He says, don't do this, right? Because the early sages did not do it like that. Rather, they did the left first and then the right. Why? So that it should not look like the right one has a wound. In other words, if you put the left one on, right? If you put the right one on first, which is what the student wanted him to do, and then someone happens to come in right there, they see have only one shoe on the right, they'll say, "Oh, I guess you have a wound on the right foot." And so no, it's actually more honorable to the right foot to put it on the left foot first. So that way, if someone takes a picture right then, they'll see the left foot and they'll assume you have only that the left foot is wounded. Okay, and this proves that you always put the shoe on the wounded foot. Okay, so here we have a very similar story, right? That you made it like a makkah, but here we know exactly which foot he was referring to, which was the problem, and we know that he did know the braita because the student knew the braita, and that he actively rejected it. And so, therefore, according to the Yerushalmi, halacha would follow Rabbi Yochanan, and you would put the left foot on first, and there's no doubt about it. But the main part of the story did make it into the Talmud Bavli, but not some of the details of the story. And then we're left with the safek, and we have three different ways here to respond to the safek.
And this idea of him mentioning tefillin.
Yeah, that's not found in the Talmud Yerushalmi. Yerushalmi has a different reason. Why? Right? Because you don't want to make the right foot look embarrassed, look sick. The tefillin is not in the Yerushalmi.
Uh-huh.
So look, it's possible that the Bavli has some things that Rabbi Yochanan did say that didn't make it into the Yerushalmi also. So this might have a different source, right? But at least regarding these topics here of the shoes, we can we can see both perspectives, like you're going to two different schools, and then you can compare them, and we can fill in the blanks of the Bavli using the Yerushalmi. But it does show that the editors of the Talmud Bavli did not have the complete Yerushalmi in front of them. They had only snippets of traditions from Eretz Yisrael. Okay. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. The next part will now quote that baraita that we quoted in small. We're going to quote the entirety. As we said, you do the right one first, according to this baraita. And when you wash or anoint yourself, always the right first and then the left. You give honor to the right. When you're washing, wash your head first, because that is the king of the body, and so it deserves that honor. Okay, so that ends the first topic regarding shoes. Now the second topic regarding tefillin. Below tefillin, we cannot wear tefillin outside on Shabbat in the Shut Harabim, although it's only asur midrabanan. Amar Rav Safra, lo tema aliba deman da'amar Shabbat lav zeman tefillin hu, ela afilu leman da'amar Shabbat zeman tefillin hu lo yaseh. Dilma ate le'atuye b'Shut Harabim. This halacha is true, he says, Rav Safra says, not only according to the opinion that says you don't wear tefillin on Shabbat. That's the opinion that we all know. We don't wear tefillin on Shabbat, right? They're both an ot, but there's another opinion that says you should wear tefillin on Shabbat as well. Miyamim yamima, every day you have to wear tefillin. Even according to that opinion, you also may not wear it outside, right? Don't think that the prohibition of wearing it in public is because you can't wear tefillin at all. Even the people who would put on tefillin cannot wear it in public. What's the reason? Well, there's a lot of times when if you're wearing tefillin, you have to be careful. Like you can't enter a bathroom with tefillin, or if it's a place that's smelly and you gotta take off your tefillin. And so if you're walking around, you need to go to the bathroom, then you're going to take off your tefillin, and you're going to be carrying them and walking, and then violating Shabbat. So therefore, as a gezerah, we say you cannot wear tefillin at all in the Shut Rabim, even if you think that you would wear tefillin in private on Shabbat. Okay, that's one version of the statement. There are others, however, who quote Rav Safra not on the main halacha that you may wear that of tefillin, but on the consequence that the punishment would not be sikila, would not be chatat. In other words, they're going to apply it the opposite way. Watch. Rav Safra, la tema liba deman de amar Shabbat zeman tefilahu. Ella afilu leman de'amar Shabbat lav zeman tefillin hu eno hayav hatat. When it says that when you wear them outside, you are not liable mideoraita, that's true not only according to the opinion that says you can wear tefillin, right? Since you can wear tefillin on Shabbat, we would understand the lower level, that's only midrabanan. But even according to the one who says you may not wear tefillin on Shabbat, let's say you do, it's still only midrabanan. Right? Because derech malbush avida, don't call it carrying, because even though it's not a mitzvah to wear it, it's still an item that you would wear. It's a way of wearing, so it can still be called clothing, even though there's no mitzvah on Shabbat, and so you wouldn't be technically carrying, although it's still asur midrabanan because of the gezerah. Great. Okay, that concludes part 2 regarding tefillin, although tefillin are going to make another appearance at the end of the page. And now we get to amulets. You cannot walk outside on Shabbat wearing an amulet that's untested. And that implies that if it's a tested amulet, right, an expert one that's proven, a proven one, then you can go out. Okay, I mean, look, this is ancient science and medicine, and they thought amulets work and relied on them. And so this was part of regular daily life. And it's interesting to see the sugya, to see how it kind of meshes into halacha, where it really has to be something helpful that you need in order for it to be something you can carry. Otherwise, you're violating these laws. Okay, but this is popular medicine, popular religion. We found archaeologically tons of amulets in every age. Okay, Amara Papa, lot latema ad de mumche gavra umumche kamea, ela kevan de mumche gavra afal gav de lo mumche kamea. This doesn't require that the person who made the amulet be an expert and that the amulet be a proven amulet. That's too much of a high level. Rather, you only need that it was written by an expert amulet writer, even if this particular amulet was never tested. Okay, so there's people out there that have a good reputation, and it's from a reputable source. Even if it's new, he just wrote it, and we didn't test it out yet. You're still allowed to wear it outside on Shabbat. And this is what it sounds like from the language of the Mishnah, because it says don't go outside with an amulet that's not from an expert. So if it's from an expert, even if this amulet particular was not tested, it's okay. It doesn't say bisman she'eno mumche. It's not talking about the amulet, that the amulet is not expert proven. Shema mina. Okay, good. So we have proven that. Tanur Banan in the Tosefta. Ezu kamea mumche. In general, what's the test for an amulet? What's the double-blind study to see if this is really going to work? Kol shedipeh v'shana v'shilesh. If it worked 3 times, then right, a hazakah, that's going to work again. Ela ehad kamea shel ketav ehad kamea shel ikarin, both a written amulet and one made from herbal roots, right? Okay. So, they work in different ways, but both of them, you need a test of 3 times. Whether it be a life-threatening disease or a non-life-threatening disease, right? If it works 3 times, that's fine. I know what you're thinking. You say, well, he wore the amulet, but it was, he had a cold, so he got better in a few days. And then you say, oh, well, look, it worked. Okay. But go tell mothers giving their kids antibiotics for colds, and they think the same thing. and the doctors that prescribe them. So, okay, we're not so different. All right. לא נכפה אלא שלא ייכפה. And not only are you allowed to wear it if you already were ill, even if you didn't fall ill, you're allowed to wear an amulet so that you won't get ill. It's a proactive, a prophylactic amulet is also good. וכושר ומתיר אפילו ברשות הרבים, ובלבד שלא יקשרנו. And when you go out, you can tie it, untie it, while you're there to make it, make it fit better, as long as you don't connect it to sher batabat v'yaseh b'reshut harabim mishum ma'ita ayin. As long as you don't connect it to a bracelet or a ring, because then you're putting it on because you like how it looks. You're using it as a decoration. If you're using it as decoration, then it's a problem because it's not made as a decoration. It's not a decoration. And so you have to be using it as an amulet, which it could affect halacha today when people are wearing a chamseh or something like that. If they actually believe that it works, then it's okay. But if they don't believe that it works and they're only using it as an ornament around a chain, then it could be a problem because if it was really made to be an amulet, not for an ornament. All right. Hold on. We have a problem because we have another baraita that says, what is an expert kameya? That it has healed 3 people. So according to this, that according to this, it has to heal 3 different people, and that's not the definition that we said, because we said it has to heal 3 times, even the same person. La kashya halemachoye gabra halemachoye kimea. Oh, these are talking about different things. If someone writes 3 amulets for 3 different people and they each work even one time, then that proves the writer to be an expert amulet writer. If there's one amulet that heals 3 times, then that amulet is a proven amulet, right? But those are 2 different tests. Just because someone one time wrote a good amulet doesn't make him an expert, and just because an expert wrote 3 of them that worked once each doesn't make the amulets proven amulets, right? Either the person has to do something 3 times or the amulet has to do something 3 times, and those prove different things. Okay, Amar Papa, he'll give us a nice summary, all the laws of amulets. Peshita li, telat kamea, deslat gabre, telata zdemane, itmeche gavra, itmeche kamea. If one person wrote 3 amulets, and they each worked 3 times for 3 people, right, altogether, then both the writer and the amulets are proven. That's everybody would agree. Telata kamea letelata gavre, had zimna, gavre itmeche, kemea la itmeche. If he wrote 3 amulets for 3 people, and each one worked just once, then the writer is considered an expert, but the amulets are not considered proven. Had kamea letelata gavre, kamea itmeche, gavra la itmeche. If a person wrote 1 amulet and it worked for 3 different people, then the amulet is proven, but the person is not proven. Okay, that is all clear, but here's his question. If one writer wrote 3 amulets for one person for 3 different diseases, and so they all worked, right, for him, then kameya v'adai laitmeche. Each kameya worked only once, so they are certainly not proven. Gabra itmeche or laitmeche. What about the writer? Because he did heal 3 times. Do we say he healed him, so it works? Or because they all happen to the same person, maybe this person has a particular constellation that has good luck, and that's why it works, but it wouldn't work for other people, so the writer still is not considered an expert. We leave this unresolved. Good question. All right. Kime'in yesh behen mishum kedusha, or dilma en behem mishum kedusha. So I love this question because here's where these 2 different worlds collide. This popular medicine, semi-religion, spiritual that people are doing no matter what, and then we're trying to bring this into halacha because kameot are not, they're not instigated. They're not, the rabbis aren't asking people to write these. But now that they're there, like, what is their status? They have holy names in them. They have names of angels. They have divine names. They have all kinds of, magic formulas that they try out. They're not organized. They're not supervised by rabbis, right? There's no hashgacha on these. It's a separate guild. But since they are spiritual in some sense, so we're wondering, are they kadosh or considered kadosh or not? Fascinating. What's the practical difference? If it's regarding Shabbat, there's a fire in the house, you're allowed to save Sifrei Torah from the fire and even take them outside. And so, what about the amulets? Can you save those like a Sefer Torah? Tashma haberachot v'keme'in af al pi sheyesh ben otiyot עניינות הרבה שבתורה אין מציל אותם בין הדלקה ונשרפים במקומן. Well, we already have a source about that says Kameot, even though they have Hebrew letters and matters of Torah, we do not save them. We leave them there and they burn in the house. So in that regard, they are not considered holy. What about, do they have to, if they're worn out, can you throw them in the garbage or you have to put them in geniza? Tashema haya katuv al yedot hakelim val karei mita yagod v'yigzenu. We have even a lesser example. People would write divine names and holy names on the legs of their beds as good luck to protect the people sleeping in the bed. And now it's time you want to throw out the bed. You can't because it has God's name on the leg. So what do? You got to cut off the leg and put in genizah just the leg because it has God's name. So all the more so these kemeot, it's at least as holy as a bed. It has God's name in it. It has holy things in it. You'd have to put that in genizah. But that doesn't prove that they're kadosh, because you wouldn't call a bed something davar shebikadusha. So we're still not sure. What about if I wear my amulet into the bathroom? I couldn't bring Tefillin, I couldn't bring a Sefer Torah or a Sidur in the bathroom. What about these? We're going to try to answer it. Oh, look, we can prove it from our Mishnah. Since our Mishnah says that you cannot bring, you can't wear a non-proven amulet, but you can wear a proven amulet outside on Shabbat, lechatechila, even though while you're wearing it, you may have to go to the bathroom, and then you're going to go in the bathroom, you might carry it, we won't worry about that, right? That means that you can leave it on and even go to the bathroom. So we can prove from our Mishnah that amulets are not kadosh, and you can wear them into the bathroom. Wait, we're not done yet with this proof. So that was what I just said. That's the proof, right? So you see, wouldn't he carry it otherwise? So maybe he can take it into the bathroom. Oh, you know why the Mishnah said you're allowed to wear a proven amulet? It was talking about an herbal amulet that was proven. And the herbal amulet certainly is not kadosh. It just has herbs in it. We're not talking about the one with names in it. He says, no, you can't say that. Because remember the Tosefta we saw above? The Tosefta is explaining the Mishnah. And it said, Echad kamei shel katav, Echad kamei shel ikarin. It says both kinds. So don't give me that, only the herbal one. If it was a written one also, I could wear it on Shabbat. Oh, I know. It's because it's talking about someone who is deathly ill. And that's why he's allowed to wear it into the bathroom, because if he takes it off, he has sakanat nefashot. No, we're not buying that either, because that same Tosefta said, "Echad cholesh yesh bo sakana, ve'echad she'en bo cholesh en bo sakana." Even a non-threatening disease, also one is allowed to wear an expert amulet. Ela kevan de maseh afagav de nachet lebide name shapir dameh. So rather, you know what? Because we're not actually worried that you might take it off and carry it, because since it works and it heals, even carrying it in your hand, it still works and heals. It's not like an ornament where if you take it off, it's not an ornament. And so therefore, it's permitted to carry it even in your hand. And so that's why an expert, proven one is okay. But this still doesn't give us any answer to whether it's holy in the sense that you can bring it into the bathroom or not. I'm going to go a little more because of the same topic. והתניא רבי הושעיה אומר, ובלבד שלא יאחזנו בידו ויעבדנו 400 ברשות הרבים. But we have a baraita that says you cannot take your amulet, even hold it in your hand, and walk with it. So that doesn't work either. This must be talking about an amulet that's covered in leather. Because it's covered in leather, I can keep it on my body and go into the bathroom. And that's why it's okay to wear it on Shabbat. But if it wasn't covered, then it would have a problem. And so you see that I cannot wear an amulet into the bathroom. Hold it, we're not done yet. Tefillin. Tefillin was on the same list, and then we have a braita about tefillin that says if you go into a bathroom, they used to wear tefillin all day, they would work wearing it outside, but when you go into the bathroom you have to take it off 4 amot away from the bathroom, and then you can go in. So why? At tefillin, you have the parshiyot that are written, but they are rolled up and cut and put inside a leather box. And so there, too, the leather box should protect it, and you should be able to go in, right? Because they are covered. Hatam, no, tefillin are different from amulets, because a tefillin, mishum shin, has a shin on tefillin sharosh, has a shin written on the side. Damar Abaye shin shel tefillin al chamashim Sinai. Abaye dalet shel tefillin al chamashim Sinai. Abaye yod shel tefillin alachal Moshe Sinai. As you probably know, right here's the shin, and then the tefillin on the back of the knot have a dalid, and on the tefillin shel yad, that this knot makes a yud, that makes God's name, and so these are all learned from tradition, and that is why they are holy, and therefore tefillin cannot be brought into the bathroom, even though they are covered with leather. But an amulet, that's covered with leather, would be okay. And just the very last thing in the previous Mishnah said that you also are not allowed to wear outside shirion lo bekastav lo b'magafayim. What are these things? Shirion is a coat of mail, right? Armor, that's no good. Kasda, Rav said, is a leather hat, but actually the kasda from Latin, kasidion, is a helmet like this. Rav is from Bavel, and so he connected it with another Persian word, but wasn't as familiar with the Latin. But he was close. It's not the leather under, but rather this type of helmet. And the last item are the shin guards, magafayim. That's in modern Hebrew we call boots, but here it's talking about a marav puz mekeh, and so those are armor that are beneath. All these are not appropriate for Shabbat. Baruch Adonai leolam, amen ve'amen. Okay, that was a lot of good information there.